Welcome to the 34th Annual Men's and Mixed Netball Championships, coming to you live from the Genea Centre in Sydney. My name is Dave Mills, joining commentary by Joshua Bogus, the Australian Junior Coaching Assistant. Bogey, we've got a grand final match on today. It's grand final day.
It is.
Open mixed, a state of origin battle, not really. Queensland versus Victoria. You're from New South Wales, didn't make it last night. It should be a cracker match. Both these two teams have played each other twice in the rounds. The first one was 48 all. The second one, 54-53 to the VICs. That meant Queensland actually finished third, believe it or not. Yeah. And the Victorian side finished second. They then played some major semi-finals. Vic won straight through against New South Wales, 39-29. Queensland did it the tough way. Took out WA first, 61-34, and then dominated New South Wales last night, 46-27. I heard you were crying after that game, Bogey. Thoughts on today's game, my friend?
Well, the last two times they played in the round, so first game was a draw, second game was 1 goal, so we're definitely in for a nail-biter, I think, right till the end. Absolutely.
So these two teams are very well placed. Queensland, this would be their first title. Victoria, the defending premiers from last year. It's shaping up as a great game. The Queensland play a more structured Queensland sort of mixed game where they've got the big unit at one end, and whereas Victoria have got mobile shooters. They tend to bring the ball down the court. Do you think one game outshines the other game?
Oh, look, if they've got a big guy, they're going to try and use him. So, I mean, if Victoria can force it to him, force Queensland to go long and go high, they could, force him turnover ball, force it out the baseline. And Victoria got the shorter circle, moving circle, so it'll keep the defenders' eyes moving, hopefully so.
Absolutely. So we've just been handed the teams. Queensland lineup is Michael Solomon, it's goal shooter, Alorna Nagkotokura, Sam Nunn at the WA, Deepak Patu, Laura Platt, Shanine Benstead and Ben Upcroft. For Victoria, Elizabeth Nicole, Corey Nexip, Sarah Febo, David Butler, Elle McDonald is the wing defence, Dylan Nexip, brother of Corey Nexip, is the GD, and the goalkeeper is Sarah. I'll let you pronounce that name, Bogey. Yeah, Sarah. I'll have a crack. I'm sorry if I've missed this wrong. Shizkuzlusli. I hope that's right. So we've got a bit of a different lineup today. It'll be hopefully, for me, not so much for you, Bogey. We're going to bump you out shortly. Paige Hadley's doing this afternoon's game. We've got Abby McCulloch replacing you. She's actually on court just over yonder.
I feel the love.
Sorry, Bogey. It's all about the dollars. She's on court at the moment having a run with the Swifts. They're doing a warm down and recovery as we speak. We hopefully have her by sort of quarter time in this first game. So enjoy the moment, Bogey, and enjoy his commentary. He's very insightful. One of our elite coaches through the junior ranks, has represented Australia, and currently the head coach of the junior program for New South Wales,
Yeah, the under-17s, yep.
Absolutely, so that's great news. We will be having presentations and at the end of the conclusion of the game, and we will also be having a team lineups read out and all that sort of stuff that goes on with the grand final. It's a bit different. It's exciting for the players.
Yeah.
Of course, we will, unfortunately, due to copyright issues with our Facebook page, we will be turning this volume down when the national anthem is played. That's not that we're being disrespectful. We love the national anthem.
But we just don't want to get booted off.
Exactly, because if Facebook pick up the copyright, you won't be watching us. Speaking of that, you can watch us via the live stream on amna.com.au, just on the off chance Facebook do boot us. We've got all the games on there, and you can watch past games. You can even watch, if you go to our YouTube channel, which is Amna TV, you can watch last year's games, and we're going to put some of the Sonics games up that we've got on the file. So that channel's really starting to buzz along. So if you love your men's netball, you're crying that it's grand final day, there's plenty to watch on the YouTube channel.
I know I'll be watching next week.
Really, Bogey?
Yeah, P&D.
Oh, fair enough. Post-national depression.
For sure.
I'll be sleeping, so I will not be watching. So, we'll be getting things in readiness now. There's about 5 minutes before kick-off, and we didn't talk about the umpires. Carly Brown is one umpire, Kylie Pearce the other. The third umpire is Christina West. So congratulations to those young ladies, because making a grand final is just the same for the players.
Yeah, exactly. If you're getting court time, the umpire coaches, think you're doing a great job. So well done to those.
So it is a selection process to be an umpire. Yeah. So that's a great honour. That's like being in a final as a player. And they work just as hard as the players do. Players play 2 games a day. Umpires umpire 2 games a day. It goes for exactly the same length of time. So I've been talking to a lot of them actually. It's the first year I've actually sat down, because I have been in the coaching ranks, but it's the first year I've sat down and actually got to know them a little bit as regards to what they do. And some of their training regimes are.
And the lead up to nationals, they take the same amount of time as a player, almost. So they do their practice matches, they do their training, their sprint training, decision making, stuff like that. So So a bit of a side of it that I hadn't appreciated and now do. So I was glad to get a bit of an insight. I thought you'd be a great umpire. I'm sure you are when you coach.
Absolutely.
Isn't everybody?
Yeah, you should have seen me as a player. So we're going to go to the presentations. We'll stop talking for a little bit, but the sound will be up so you can pick up the team lineups.
Mixed Open, please welcome goal shooter, Libby Nicol. Goal attack, Corey Nixon. Wing attack, Sarah Bevo. Centre, Taylor Butler. Wing defence, Helen McDonald. Goal defence, Dylan Nixon. Goalkeeper, Sarah Shushkowski. Substitutes are Lauren Day, Andrew Lewis, Jess Mack, Sophie O'Shea, and coach Colin Kelly and Benja. Eliza Caldwell. That's your Victoria Mixed Open. And you're welcome on call. Queensland Mixed Open goal shooter, Michael Solomon. Goal attack, Alona Natuvarana. Wing attack, Sam Nunn. Centre, Deepak Patu. Wing defence, Laura Platt. Goal defence, Shalane Bensley. Goalkeeper, Ben Upright. Substitutes are Luke Hillman, Erin Stenhouse, Kelly Gibson, Billy Mayer, and Brianna Roberts. Coach of the Queensland Mixed Open, Dave Smith, manager, Matt Heather. Ladies and gentlemen, the umpires for the show called Mixed Open are Carly Brown, Kylie Pearce, reserve umpires Christina West. On court one, men's reserves, Renee Marshall, Stuart Tick, and reserve umpire on court one is Amy Rich Owen. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the national anthem?
Absolutely. Julie Anthony pumping out the national anthem. I know you didn't hear it, but I've goosed up, buddy. Yourself, Josh, what's going on?
Oh, look, it's the players love that sort of thing. You know, they're representing not only their state but their country here when they're playing the netball. So, you know, they're in their final huddles now. The coaches are having a chat. They're getting around each other, so...
Absolutely. So the whistle's gone. The umpire's getting in place. It's 30 seconds to tip off. What's your tip, Bogman?
I'm going to say Queensland.
You're jumping on board the mighty Maroons. I'm going Queensland by 27.
Oh, 27.
27, my friend. We have not won a title. We've been going since 2003 in the mixed division. Queensland only came on board in 2008, and this is their year. They've played some great netball under the leadership of David Smith, the coach, so I'm feeling very confident. Mind you, having said that, Guy Keane, one of the all-time legends of men's netball, is coaching Victoria. So, Queensland with the first centre pass. It's on the edge of the circle. Patu with the ball. Nope. Lorna with the ball. Kicks it out. Nunn couldn't rip it in. Bit of a loose pass there to start.
So, Victoria, sideline throw in.
So, we're away. You can join us on Facebook. You can join us on many, many things. Yeah, of course, amna.com.au. Watch all these games back. So Victoria with the chance to get the first one. Both sides just feeling each other out early.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a couple of minutes for these teams to settle. Is big grand final, so
Let's see what happens.
Short pass call, I think.
Absolutely. So nervous start, Joshua.
Yeah, nervous start as well from Queensland there. Though swinging that call across the ball across the court early on. That's where Queensland turned it over, and great job to Butler there, getting that intercept.
Yeah, you'd have to say it's a nervous start by both sides. Queensland haven't settled just yet. Victoria probably looked the better of the early stages. So Butler with the ball. Well, we've got Queenslanders offside there. Yep, good call by the umpire. Of course, that's umpire Kylie Pearce on the far side. Carly Brown this side closest to the camera. You'll see a lot of the back of her head. And Christina West, the third umpy. So contact out of their hands there. Platt contesting the ball off Butler. Butler settling. We've played two, no score at this stage. Libby Nickel under the hoop. Makes no mistake. So the Vics are away. That was a Queensland centre. So turnover Queensland is capitalised on by Victoria, and they're out to the early lead, 1-0, and we've played 2 and a bit.
So Queensland forcing Victoria to go backwards. Great patience from Victoria there.
Must have been
another offside call.
Those pesky shoelaces.
They
Play
are.
with Velcro, you don't have that trouble. So I'm starting a trend. Hit with Velcro. So 2 trends I'm starting that, and I want Pepsi to sponsor us.
Pepsi to sponsor us.
High fives all around the Victorian circle as Elizabeth Nicol makes the second goal. So Queensland must answer here. Playing a little bit within themselves at the moment. Nunn looking nervous, kicks it back to Platt. So great
Solomon,
work.
great hold.
Solomon, the big man of Queensland netball, makes no mistake. Queensland on the board, first of many. No comment there from Joshua. So looking good. Need a turnover here, the Mighty Maroons, to tie it all up. So Victoria working the ball around. Very patient, aren't they? Elle McDonald, the MVP from last year's grand final. So played extremely well to get that. I think we did the grand final.
I think we may have done this same game last year.
So that was, we're hoping for a close one. Victoria just outclassed them pretty much from the go.
Yep.
This one I think will be a little bit closer. 3-1 to the Vics early. We've played just on 3. So
arms over pressure from McDonald.
That's why she's the MVP.
Great work from
Butler.
Butler.
Ooh, I think he had front position there. Could have gone either way. Solomon, the
Ball's
big one.
high.
Oh,
Falling out of court.
lights on
Makes
his
the shot.
feet, the big man, and he gets the ball into the hoop. Queensland second, 3-2, 4 gone.
Great drive from Corey next. Unfortunately, just too close to the baseline.
He drove out of court.
Drove out of the court.
So jumped in the car and was out of here. So contact there on Ben Upcroft. Ben, an Australian representative at the indoor level for both mixed and, well, I won't say the other one, it involves his age. But contact there on Nunn. Next hip, that's Dylan, brother of Corey. Thankfully, they're at either end of the court.
Yeah, I would
Makes
be
it a little bit
confused.
easier. Oh, great pass in. The screen set by Solomon. It was a great possession call.
Well done from the umpire there to let that one go.
Yeah, she's obviously on top of her game. This is one of the premium grades, so to get a
Oh,
grand
yeah,
final on this,
yep.
the umpire's umpired well all week. And I'm happy to say Queensland 3-3. They've tied it up. Great drive by Deepak Patu.
And great timing from Solomon. Just popped out exactly the right time for that ball to come in front.
Gets his 4th, and Queensland's 4th at the same time. So Victoria, the ball's not flowing at present, but they're very patient. This is a championship winning side. So the Vics won in 2017.
It was Geelong the year before that one as well.
It was, which is Victoria as well.
Which is Victoria.
And then the official Victorian side the year before that. So kind of a three-peat.
Been within that state for a while.
Yeah. So it'd be nice to see someone other than Victoria win a title. So, and don't forget, we've got the big one coming up after this, the Open Men's Final. It will be the only game on. We've got multiple camera angles. We're beefing up our coverage. We're doing a three-man commentary team, including Paige Hadley from the Sydney Swifts. Michael Hutchinson will be joining myself in what should be an absolute cracker of a game. Bogey, you're looking forward to that one?
I am. I'll be front row with a popcorn. I'll be locked in for that one because I know it's going to be a thriller right to the end. So
they had a one-point game yesterday to get them into the final, New South Wales. They looked like they were cruising. Queensland showed the spirit they're renowned for.
I'll be going for New South Wales in that game, don't you worry.
I thought you would, that's why you're not on the bench.
So,
just saying. so the turnover by the Queenslanders, Victoria can't capitalise, loose ball there by Nexip. Patu throws it in, Solomon a little bit too much work to do, none contesting, grabs the foul, well done by Solomon.
I think it could have been an offside call.
It was.
Umpire Kelly Brown.
She's all over that. Do I have to say the shoelaces again? So, yeah, pass inside only. It'd be good if we could hear the umpires, but they're a fair way from where we are. He's on.
Solomon demands that ball.
But missed him. Patu choosing to go across. He's playing it where not, so therefore you'd have to say made the right decision. Throwing Queensland off the ring. Solomon, great work.
Nice and strong in front.
He had Nexip in his back. He's a strong man. The Australian American football representative, Michael Solomon.
American football?
American football. He's played for Australia in 2 sports, one of those really ridiculously multi-talented people.
Yep. I don't like them people.
No, not at all. We'll just bag him for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
No, but played for Australia in 2 different sports. That's a great effort. So, and hopefully he'll be back in the green and gold for netball this year.
That's it.
So Nexip with the ball.
That's
Platt.
Adelaide later
from
on in the
behind.
year.
The Trans-Tasman, baby.
Yeah.
Should be a great series, that.
I'm looking forward to that. I'll be there.
So, lots of people watching, sending us messages, which you can do too through the Facebook Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Association.
Oh, well read.
Kate Shewan has sent us a message. That is the wife of Dave Smith, the coach of Queensland. She'd be on the edge of her seat with the kids back home. Smitty, looking pretty relaxed. For those that don't know Dave Smith, he is a former Melbourne Tiger player. Played in the era of Andrew Gaze, Leonard Copeland, if you know those people, Bogey. They were some of the greats of the game in Australia, and Dave Smith was right there up with them. So Queensland, another goal, and they get the lead out by 2, 6-4, biggest lead of the match for Queensland. Bogey, I'm stopped sweating, which is a good sign, but I'm starting again with that. Nope, we got a step. It's all good. Benstead with the take to Platt, probably the fittest player in all of the Queensland netball. So looks in for Solomon. Patu, great feed. Solomon makes no mistake. So
Queensland an early lead.
Absolutely. I can't think of anyone else scoring a goal other than Solomon for Queensland. So Libby Nicol gets it in.
Straight missed that one under the post there.
Another Australian player. There's a lot of Australian players on show out there. A lot of the Queenslanders. Sammy Nunn there, formerly known as Sammy Hurst, got married recently. If you're on social media, you would have seen that.
Nexip is looking for that one.
Unbelievable take by Nunn.
And she did so well to stay onside there.
Absolutely. Got clipped on the knee. She's limping a little bit, but managed to rip that into Solomon for the goal. 3 the lead to Queensland. 2/3 of the way through the first. We're playing with 5 to go.
Butler, great ball, top of the circle, Nicol.
Patu, beautifully read. Queenslanders looking stronger at the moment. Trying to break this drought. It's like the Sheffield Shield. It took us 69 years to win that. It's taken us a while to win this one too. But once we won at 1, mate, we won plenty. So
Yeah.
I think we won 4 in a row.
Oh, great drive from goal attack there, just to draw the front defender off.
Solomon, the fake.
Yeah.
Something you don't see from the big man often. He's just confident as he goes to the hoop. Threw in a fake. Queensland by 4. 2 Kicks it back. Benstead playing a great link roll there, isn't she, as the backup for the attacking end. Batu screaming for it. A little bit late on the release, so there's a throw into Queensland. El McDonald nearly the intercept.
So the crowd's starting to roll in here as well. So
we should be full by the time the main match starts. So get yourself down here.
If you're in Sydney
at the Olympic Park.
It's $5.
$5 entry.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
There's not much more, anything cheaper than that. So
yeah, even inflatable world $7. So you can't beat that. So Victoria down by 5. It's 10-5. So official scoreboard shows 9, but pretty sure it's 10 unless we miss one bogey. So another short shot from Victoria. Queensland Platt with the ball. Cops a hit for a troubles from the other next hit brother. That's Corey. So, Benstead just stopped on a drive there. If she'd have kept going, she would have swallowed that. Probably linked with Solomon. And we'd be talking about another Queensland goal. But unfortunately, she just paused a bit there, bogey.
Over a third was the call from the umpire.
None again. She's all over that.
Queensland just seem to be putting the pressure. The defensive pressure is unbelievable from Queensland so far in this first quarter.
So it is. It's what Queenslanders are renowned for, and comebacks in State of Origin. Just saying. So we got 10-5. Scoreboards match.
Swing ball.
So, Upcroft a fingertip on it, forcing the throw in. He's very unassuming there, Upcroft, but he does his job extremely well. A multi-time Australian player for the indoor. When we say indoor, we're talking about nets. Benstead didn't drive where Lorna wanted her. Batu with the ball. Lorna, no. Got the block call.
The keeper just pulled up straight in front of her and sort of forced her to run into her anyway. So
fair call.
Correct call there from the umpire.
Absolutely.
A little stoppage in play while they clean up their sweat from the court.
We're getting a toweling out.
Team manager gets the ball on the court to
seem to enjoy that a little bit too much.
Sweat.
So Bogey, your thoughts so far? Queensland coming out firing.
Queensland have. I think they've just been a little bit more settled. They've had the defensive pressure on Victoria, and so they're forcing Victoria to go to places they don't want to. So, and this is to put another one on the board.
Solomon makes no mistake. The margin 6, the biggest lead of the match for Queensland. We're inside the last 3. So 2:50 to go. You'll notice that our clock shows 2:22. We go with the official timer. We don't have the ability to start the clock. And Solomon again. This is almost becoming the dream start for Queensland. Double digits to making 12 to the Victorians, just a measly 5. So, but if it's one thing I've known about Victorians as a player and a coach, they will always come back at you.
Yeah, they'll fight.
So I can't see these guys lying down. And remembering, they've played twice. We've had a draw and a 1-point thriller.
So that was off a Queenslander hand.
Yep, I think Upcroft might have headed that one. Bit of a falcon there. So he does well. Forces the turnover. Nickel with the throw in. Can't get anyone. Throws it straight to Benstead from Queensland. Probably not the ideal spot to throw it to.
So the Queenslanders just played off the body there, so they forced that ball, interrupted the space, and so.
The drive from Lorna Nakakutura, a magnificent drive, passes off. Solomon will make no mistake, and he doesn't. Queensland 8 up early stages of this match, but we've got 1:42 to play in the first quarter. Chance to make the lead 9. Josh, did you expect this?
No, definitely not. I think, Queensland, I think they're using their height really well down this end, so I think maybe they might need it. If they've got some hops to match him, be something I'd be looking at as well.
Josh, you dared to laugh at me when I said Queensland by 27, but I may have to increase that, my friend. Yeah. Okay. Solomon again. That one cripped out, and Queensland get the throw in. He doesn't jump much, Solomon, so if he can't get, if he misses, it's sometimes he doesn't get the rebound you expect him to. The sneaky pass.
Around the post.
This time Solomon makes no mistake. I think that's his first miss, and I think he's taken all the shots, so we'd be looking at 14 out of 15. So no one to throw to for the Victorians.
So the Vic attacking just getting a bit still.
Do you think we'll see a change in the shooting end?
Possibly.
Will Sophie O'Shea come on, replacing Libby Nickel?
Yeah, possibly. Could it be nerves early on in this grand final? I don't know. Like, some of these players are really experienced, so I was looking to Butler to be the experience in the middle to ramp these guys up. So
absolutely. Well, it's no secret I'm a parochial Queenslander, but not even I expected this. Queensland have got the lead up to 10. McDonald had that ball and just batted it out. So Benstead with the throw-in. There's 14 seconds to go by our reckoning. Patu will look long. No, he doesn't. Goes to Benstead. Someone's going to have to look long shortly. It'll be Platt to Nunn. Solomon's on. Throws it in. Nunn, fortunately intercepted. Timekeeper's up. And that's all she wrote for the first quarter. Whew, Joshua Bogus, sorry. The score is 10. The score is 10. The margin, 15-5. Did you at any stage think Queensland would be doing this? Definitely not. So I think the Victorian coach will be sitting those guys down and having a firm word to them saying, we've played this all week. Where is it now? A firm word. So, just looking there, we can see him on screen. He's not making that much of a big fuss. Guy Keane, Australian men's netball legend. He's won more MVPs than I've had Christmases. And it looks like he's not making many changes there, so he's quite happy with what he's seeing. I'm surprised. I'm happy. Queenslanders by 10 at the break. We're going to a commercial break. We'll be back in 60 seconds to see if the Mighty Maroons can continue their lead. Well, welcome back there. Thanks, Pat, for that long introduction. The second quarter is just underway in the Open Mix Final. We're coming to you live from the 34th Annual Men's and Mixed Netball Championships, brought to you by Game Clothing, our major sponsor. Victoria have rung the changes. I'm joined in commentary by Joshua Bogus from the New South Wales Junior Program, former Australian 17s assistant coach. Buddy, were you shocked by the scoreline? I am. I'm quite shocked about that one. So I think the coach from Victoria, Guy Keane, has called for some changes, so we'll see how they go. I think we've just got them. He's absolutely rung the changes. He's made a change at, I'll just go through the new lineup, it might be easier. He's kept Libby Nickel on at the GS spot. Lachlan Dean's the new GA. David Butler's the new wing attack. Elle McDonald's the new centre. Jess Maher's the new WD. And Dylan Nextip and Sarah Slazowski maintain their positions in the defensive end. So Queensland have made a surprise for me, but they've done this all week. Dick Patu's come off. He started at centre. He's gone to the bench. He's been replaced by Billy Mayer. So after a long way to get there, Victoria get the first centre of the second quarter. And Queensland looking to answer. Foul inside the circle. So I've got the shooting stats. As we predicted, no shots to the Queensland goal attack. 16 to Solomon, and he hit 15 of them. Victoria, Libby Nickel, 3 from 3, and Corey Nexip, 2 from 4. So it's an obvious pattern what's happening here, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the Victorian shooter just needs some more ball. She's accurate, 3 from 3, so I think she just needs more volume there.
So
great tip from Mayer.
Good tip. He plays keeper as well, centre and keeper. It's an unusual combination, but he does both extremely well. So nice work, McDonald.
Great roll.
To the new GA in Dean. Puts his first shot up, makes no mistake.
Beautiful high shot.
So lovely technique there from the young fella. So Victoria seem a little more composed in the second quarter. Got a lot of work to do. They're down by 9 as we speak. Early stages, second quarter. No contact from behind.
Oh,
that was unlucky.
That's unfortunate.
So Platt thought she'd got a contact there. Ball knocked out of her hands. This could be the spark Victoria looking for to really cement this quarter going. So Nickel, the fake, hell ball, great work. Ben Upcroft went up at just the right time. Great call by the umpire. The easy option there is call the obstruction. Carly Brown, confidence in her abilities to call the 3 seconds. To Solomon, takes a shot, makes no mistake. Queensland maintain that 10-goal lead. If it stays like this, everyone will be happy from the Sunshine State. Butler, again, looking for someone to throw it to. Has to go backwards. Next hip, that's Dylan who's out there. Corey's been replaced. The smothering defence of the Queenslanders right now. Obstruction on Mayer. Nickel couldn't pull that one in. Still a fair way out. Upcroft from behind. Can't get it. Gets that one though. Oh. And the contact call as well.
You just see there, Nickel looked straight for her goal attack, and Ben Upcroft was able to read that from the way she was looking. So well done to him for that one.
Need a little bit of sleight of hand.
I think so,
Joshua?
yeah. Maybe look to the post and flick the ball the other way.
Bit of showtime.
Look away.
Solomon, look at that. He's just held his ground beautifully.
He demands that ball nice and high.
And gets it. Gets Queensland 18th, and I'm pretty sure that's Solomon's 18th. So he has dominated this game early. And again, great pass by Nunn. Just turned, saw, released. There was no time for Victoria to set. And just like that, Queensland have extended the margin by 2 to 12. Victoria still in single numbers. Queensland 19. And a step call as well. Butler, nothing going right for the Blues at the moment. So contacts could have gone either way. Mayer with the benefit of the doubt puts it down. Platt with it. Experience of Platt, plays state league back in Queensland. Great outlet pass. Contact call on the new wing defence, Jess Marr. The changes had any impact for you, Joshua?
Not just yet. I think they're going to take a bit of time to settle. So, but a credit to Queensland. They're just absolutely putting their foot down now. Oh, and rebound.
Solomon unfortunately missed the shot.
So Victoria need to.
That's a lucky break for the Victorians. It was a 0-footer.
This one. McDonald.
Struggling to find someone to throw to. Nickel has to drive out of the circle, not where she really wants to be. Mayer.
Queensland are doing so well to keep them off the circle edge. There's no circle edge drive, so.
That was quite brilliant by Mayer, but he did contact. So, contact from behind on Benstead. The girl from Beaudesert. Upcroft rips that in. It's all Queensland at the moment. So, a no-look pass, but unfortunately Mayer probably shouldn't have done that because Solomon had no connection there, had no clue it was coming to him.
And he wasn't quite facing the ball either. So.
No, just throw it to the space. They've done well all match. No need to fancy it up just yet. Wait till we get to that 27 lead that I've been talking about. That's when we play the showtime. We've got time. Time on Butler. Butler has been dragged by the coach who has replaced Butler with himself. Well, you heard me say earlier, Guy Keane is one of the legends of men's and mixed netball. He is a multiple Australian representative.
I didn't even think that he had his shoes on.
Well, he's packed them, and we're in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen, because this guy is one of the greats of all time. Nearly another hell ball for Nickel. She's struggling a little bit. Upcroft probably could have gone a little more aggressively with that. Nickel doesn't want to shoot. I mean, the worry is that Keane's such a dominant player that maybe they'll start going through him a little bit too much. Like he's touched the ball 4 times on this play. Now 5.
Queensland's defence is just unbelievable in this circle.
Relentless at the moment, taking a shot there a little bit too far out, but makes no mistake. Lachlan Dean. Margin's back to 11. So now the big question is, will we see the Queensland coach, Dave Smith?
Could he potentially come on?
He plays a bit of shooter.
Would you replace Solomon Butt?
He
has shot 20 of these 20 goals.
He would 20 of the 20. Yeah. He's sitting on 20 out of 22. It would be a big call from the super coach to bring himself on. You'd have to have a fair amount of testosterone to do that. So throw into Queensland. Upcroft just already using the clock, margin of 12. Still at a half to play. Probably a bit early for that. So Billy Mayer has fitted in beautifully since coming on. Throws a loose pass there. That was telegraphed. Jess Ma took off about 3 minutes before that was thrown and managed to get it. Mayer arms in the air. I just gave him a wrap and he does that.
Oh, beautiful pass.
Head down by Upcroft. Probably could have had a crack at that. Nickel makes no mistake. Queensland centre. The margin back to 10. It was 20-8 when... sorry, my apologies. 20-7 when the coach brought himself on. Solomon missed a couple now. That's his 3rd miss. 2nd in this quarter, but he makes no mistake. He got his own board there. 21-9.
Off Nickel last, unfortunately.
She's not happy with that, but I think she knows. Nearly a hell ball. It is a hell ball by Upcroft. Should have probably just thrown it straight up, Josh.
I think so.
Have a crack.
Or even use the net. There wasn't anybody that close to him. He could have used the hoop.
You're not talking indoor, are you, buddy?
Not yet.
I mean, we do love indoor, but you know, this is an outdoor tournament.
It's definitely something that could happen.
So, great work there by Nickel. Official score is 21-10. They're correct now. We've all caught up. Margin 11. It was 12 when Keane brought himself on. So Solomon had that and then just seemed to withdraw.
It sort of, yeah, tried to. There's a soft handling error there. So
Platt. So
cross court. Nickel with the drive at front.
Working hard.
And a screen set from the shooter. Well done.
That's Lachlan Dean, the aforementioned shooter. And a turnover converted by Victoria. Cuts the margin to 10. Their centre next. Guy Keane, the sensational news. Guy Keane has brought himself on. He's now captain, player and coach. So working hard for his team. So
great drive.
Retired from men's netball at the end of season 2015. Sorry, apologies, 16. And looks like he's never left the game.
Dean falling out of court.
And the ball goes out. Queensland with the turnover. Platt to Mayer. Gave him a bit of work to do. He's equal to the challenge.
Cross court.
Queensland now all of a sudden are going across the court a lot. That drive was across court. The umpire saved us there, Bogey.
Thank God. I don't think I'm ready to pass.
We would have worn a monitor. So the team from B Live happy that didn't happen. B Live bringing the pictures to you, one of the leading live streaming sports services in Australia. Well done by Nunn. I didn't think she stepped. I thought she got for replay. Fair call that then. So she looks a little nervous all of a sudden, Nunn. So coach is saying what we were saying. They have been going crossways a little bit, so he wants them to go more laterally up and down the court rather than sideways. So another Australian player, Will Jamieson, Greg Heinrich, both watching the coverage, sending us messages. Thanks, boys. Good to hear from you. You can do so on the AMNA queenslandlive.com.au. Click on the live streaming tab to watch, or of course you can watch it on Facebook, which is where we get most of our messages. The margin's 9. The VIC's fighting back a little bit. Remember, it was 15-5 at the break. And Solomon.
Full shot again.
He's got the yips at the moment, Solomon. Queensland falls on it. It's Victorian ball.
There's a big ball.
He's probably missed 4 of his last 6. And he's not good on the rebounds. He's only rebounded 1 of those. So, and now gives away the obstruction. So, needs to get his head back into the game. He is a focal point of the attack. We were just saying he's had 20 out of 22, and all of a sudden he's missed a few, big fella.
Yeah, so I think it's just a steady. He just needs to take his time on his shot. So he's accurate. He knows he's accurate enough.
That's a miss there.
Nice shot.
Great boards by the big defender from Queensland and Ben Upcroft. So again, now the defensive pressure's increased on Victoria. Every ball is contested. Queensland running away from it. Oh, and gives it a little tap on the head with the ball.
A bit of a headbutt.
So we said that Victorians had come out hard. They have. There's 3 to play. The difference is 9. Queensland not capitalising on their turnovers. Margin now 8. This is the closest Victoria have been for probably, well, all of this quarter and most of the first. So I don't think you wouldn't say that Guy's done anything spectacular,
no,
but his sheer presence has lifted Victoria and made Queensland a bit nervous.
I think he's just been the steady head on the court as well. As we say that,
he was a little bit too steady there.
Yeah,
hung into it a little bit too long. The margin is 3. The 3-second rule came into place. So Upcroft takes it. Now Queensland need to get their driving back, which has been a little bit lacking. It's this next one that seems to be the issue. Platt, well done. Straight up the middle. That's what we wanted. None cross court. Oh, so close. Solomon's there. Great pass by Mayer. Had a bit of heat on it. Solomon back in the groove. I don't want to say this, but Queensland desperately needed that. They just sort of hit the wall a little bit. So the margin is back to 9. This should make it 10. No hesitation. Straight into the Solomon. He's walking around a bit there, but not called for the step.
Yeah, so next hip's just floating off a little bit, waiting for that long feed to come in, and it's given next hip time to get up and
trying to throw a bit of doubt into the thrower. So just keep you up to date on the other game. We've got a Resi men's grand final going on, featuring Queensland Victoria. Victoria currently 3 up, 20-17. So but why would you leave this game? This is going to be a cracker. So Solomon with the ball. Another short shot, and he can't get his board again.
He's not happy with that one.
So the confidence that he was displaying in the first quarter is deserting him a little bit. So and his inability to get the rebound is hurting the Queenslanders at present. So maybe the coach will bring himself on.
Maybe.
Which I can't see him. He must be warming up. Nah, there he is. Just joking.
He's still got long pants on. So
yeah, that's all right. They might be scorched. What do they call them? I don't know. I digress. So Dean, nice feed to Nickel. She makes no mistake. That was a lovely shot by Nickel. She's found her range now. A little bit shaky early on, but she's looking good. But I see Sophie O'Shea is warming up. And traditionally they share the court time. 2 very good shooters, so maybe there would be an automatic change that they normally do. Platt with the ball. No obstruction call. Bad pass.
Keane comes up with it.
We're inside the last minute. Queensland wouldn't want to give away a goal here. So just lost their little bit of groove there, the Queenslanders. Maybe the change of Mayer wasn't ideal. It seemed to work early, but since Keane's come on, he's sort of Mayer's gone a little bit. And
I think that's just experience.
Yeah,
Mayer, Mayer's still quite young, and
coming through the 23s program in Queensland into the open mixed. So Victoria have got it back to 8. We're inside the last minute. Nickel under the ring all alone.
And a footwork call.
Oh, a footwork call.
She's not happy about that.
Time's called. Nickel's not happy. The umpire was correct. And we have a half time. Whew. And
Victoria men's reserve 20, the Queensland men's reserve 19, and on show court, Victoria Mixed Open 15, and Queensland Mixed Open 23.
Thanks for that. The announcer just talking over the top of us, and we've got a situation here, as you may have heard, Queensland 23, Victoria 15, so they cut the margin there. It was 10 at the break. It's now 8. Thoughts on the first half, Joshua Bogus?
Look, that was a great, Guy Keane brought himself on, made a bit of an impact there at the start. So we'll just see if Victoria can keep settled and push on in this third quarter. It's a premiership quarter, so...
Absolutely. So Queensland with the advantage. I think Mayer might come back off for Patu, which would be a smart move if I was the coach, and that will probably settle Queensland down a little bit, and his experience will probably counteract a bit of what Guy Keane's bringing to the Victorian side at the moment.
Sure.
So Queenslanders hunting for their first title. Victoria trying to defend theirs from last year. We've got a margin of 8, 23-15. We're going to commercial breaks, and we'll be there for 2.5.
Passion, dedication, fun and fitness. What do all these things have in common? These are all the qualities of Game Clothing and our brand ambassadors, professional athletes Laura Langman and Stephanie Wood. Stay up to date with all the latest ambassador and product news at gameclothing.com.au.
And we're back here for the halftime break, still continuing. We've got about 30 seconds left in that. Sorry, about a minute left in that. Changes to the Victorians. They've gone back to, as we talked about, Elizabeth Nicol has come off, replaced by Sophie O'Shea, an exceptional player, great shooter, former Australian player many times over. Yep. And Lachlan Dean, who I thought did a pretty good job. He's been replaced by the original starting shooter in Corey Nexip. Queensland, on the other hand, they've made multiple changes. They've brought in Rhiannon Roberts has gone into the goal attack spot. Lorna's come off. Sharneen Benstead sitting down. She's been replaced by Erin Stenhouse. Billy Mayer, we predict this. Billy Mayer's come off, and Deepak Patu's gone back into the starting 7. So he started the first quarter. Deepak played quite well. Billy Mayer came on. Didn't do a bad job. Just a little bit of experience there by Keane on him. Yep. And so do you think Queensland will get back into the groove with this lineup? Supercoach Joshua Bogus.
Well, I think they can still push on here, but I think
Victoria men's reserve 20 recaptured the lead, and Queensland men's reserve 19 on our show court. Victoria Mixed Open 15, Queensland Mixed Open 23 in the hands of the umpire. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your team.
So I think Victoria. I think it was good for Corey to have a sit down on the bench and just have a look what was going on, how Queensland were pressuring us. So him back at goal shooter now and Sophie O'Shea out in front. So we'll see what they can come up with there.
Absolutely. O'Shea in at the GA spot, Nixip at the shooter. So we are looking forward to that. Those two, obviously the championship winning pairing for the Victorian team last year. And Nixip under the ring. So Queensland had the first centre. It didn't use it, but Victoria haven't made him pay.
I think Upcroft is just, his defence is amazing. The lean that he has over the shots is just putting the shooters off, and he's got rebounds every day. So
He's having a bit of trouble getting the ball out though. So Patu getting there caught by Keane. So needs to lose Keane a lot so he can free up the space. So the crowd is building, as you say, Joshua. It's going to be a great grand final. So if you're in the area of the Homebush Olympic Stadium, come on down, see some of the finest netball. That game from 1:45. Or you can stay at home, watch it on amna.com.au or the Facebook Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Association, joined in commentary by Paige Hadley. Thanks to Game Clothing, our major sponsors. Again, Queensland, great turnover. Gibson picks up the crumbs.
just forced that ball, I think, to Guy there at the top of the circle.
I meant Stenhouse. Gibson has recently married, and I keep calling her that. Her married name is Stenhouse. My apologies to Mr. Stenhouse back home. One of the finest cricketers Australia's ever produced. Roberts with the step, not happy. Felt she was hitting the back.
Yeah, I thought that might have been a contact call.
Next hit, both brothers back on now. That was Dylan to Keane. The margin 9. We've played 2 in the third quarter. Great feed,
so strong in the pocket.
He's got no hesitation there. And the shot goes in.
That was better from Mexico. Just took his time, sighted the defender's hand, looked up for the post.
So the shooting stats have come in. Victoria in that quarter, Libby Nicol, 7 out of 8 at 87%. And Lachlan Dean, who I thought shot better than this, 3 out of 6, only 50. Again, no shots taken by this Queensland goal attack, all by Solomon. 8 out of 12, so he dropped down to 66% in that one. The margin's still 9, so that first quarter's hurt Victoria a lot. It's pretty much been goal for goal. It was 10 at quarter time, and we're still around that sort of margin. We haven't moved. So it's important to get a fast start, Joshua.
The start is what made it. Great roll there from next set, popped out on the baseline.
Absolutely, makes no mistake with the shot, and we're now at a situation where Queensland are up by 8, 25-17. We've played 3 in the third. The championship quarter, Joshua Bogus.
Yeah. Next sip out there on the hunt. Left Solomon all open at the back.
I guess when you're up against a shooter that size, you've got to go hunting occasionally.
Yeah, for sure. Don't get stuck on the body too much. So.
Hand by Batu, saved by Platt. She can't get it to a Queensland. It goes to O'Shea. Victoria still in possession. Sophie O'Shea, lovely technique, and just creeps in. Feel like talk drop a bit too much.
Yeah.
So 26-18. In the other game, we've got the Resi men's have locked at 21 all. They're about the same stage as we are. Stenhouse couldn't pull that in. The cross-court pass from Patu. So the Queensland bench starts cheering. Keane desperately trying to get this one in to cut the margin to 7. He looks
another
in.
roll.
That's a beautiful roll by Nexip. He seems more confident with Keane out there.
He does, and at the back there, he's got time to set up and see what's coming at him, and he's got great footwork to do those nice rolls off the back of Ben there.
Nice hard shot. Margin 7. O'Shea with the ball. So Victoria, Keane looking for the pocket, finds it. Upcroft read that well. Patu will chase this down, kicks it to none. Platt, Stenhouse is open, uses her now. Into Patu, looks for Solomon. Great transitional play by Queensland, and the shot from Solomon. Boy, they needed that.
That was a nice passage.
Victoria
nice
were on a bit of a
fast.
roll there. So, chance to get the margin back up. Patu with the ball. Brianna Roberts, not a renowned goal attack. Like we'd think of her more as a wing defence and goal defence player. Doing an amazing job this week. And Solomon makes no mistake as Roberts gets shoved into the pole, shakes her head. Doesn't worry. She's had harder hits than that. More hits than the Beatles. The Beatles, you probably don't know them. They were big in the 60s.
Before my time.
They go all right. So that Paul McCartney dude, he goes all right. So O'Shea with the ball. Beautiful work by McDonald, who's at wing attack.
Contact call on O'Shea there.
Hands on hips, not a happy camper at present. So played in the victorious Australian World Cup winning team in 2013 in South Africa. Nunn uses her strength there to take the hit from the Victorian goalkeeper. Roberts probably got in the way a little bit there. Didn't need to do that front roll. Would have been better off positioning herself on the baseline. And transition play by Victoria is quite brilliant. Stenhouse, oh, a little bit late. She nearly got it out of there. Upcroft, a lot of work to do, 2-on-1. Sophie O'Shea makes no mistake. She is one of the better shooters going around, Josh.
She is. She's got a lovely high release on her. It's very hard for those defenders to try and pick off.
So, Roberts playing more of the feeding role, looking for Solomon, throws the ball away. Keane read that.
Pocket.
Read it like a book. Queensland by 8. So, they're trying to maintain this high margin. It is single digits. It's been double for a long time. Upcroft again, into Patu. Whilst Upcroft got that, I'd say the mid-court presence was the one that got that for them. Yeah, absolutely. Roberts
in the front position.
Oh,
Next hit.
Just a fraction late. He nearly pinched that. So Solomon's got this and makes no mistake. This could be the first game in the history of netball where the GS takes all the shots in a winning national title team. So, and it's pretty obviously the Queensland goal attacks are not even considering shooting.
No.
It's not even an option for them.
Hasn't even been attempted, I think.
So, which goes against a lot of the coaching philosophies. You tend to take a bit of pressure off your shooter by getting your GA to take a volume of shots.
But hey, if you've got a big man like that that can go to the post all day, why not just use him?
Absolutely. So, do you think we'll see Romelda taking all the shots for the Firebirds this year?
Oh, look, I don't
Fowler Reid, she's in the
fever.
Yeah. Solomon with the push-off, not happy with the call.
Yeah, he thought, next hip's leaning over me. I'm going to give him a nudge to get him off me. But
Upcroft does enough. He didn't touch it, but did enough to put next hip off. That's Corey. So Queensland come up with Stenhouse on the fly. Links up with Nunn. Nice solid play by the Queenslanders at the moment. Back we go. We start again. Platt not prepared to rush anything. Contact, surely, yes. The keeper came out there, took Patu.
A little bit late.
She ended up on the ground, but they definitely her contact. Solomon, Roberts. She might take a shot. She has. Solomon saves it. And beautiful work by Roberts. She's not going to take a second. None. With Tanner in her back. Sorry, Ma in her back. Jess Ma. This is a bit far for the big man. He goes. Normally doesn't go that far at Christmas, and he certainly does. Make no mistake. Margin 9. Sophie showing the drive. Guy Keane. So it was 9 when he came on. It's still 9. Did it work?
Look, I think they've been more settled. I think they've been steady with the ball, but Queensland have just been so strong in defence. It's been unbelievable, and they've got the target at the back. So
would you say the hunger's more there for Queensland?
I think so. Yeah.
Trying to get there first.
Yeah, I think they're just more hungry for it. So they should be. You know, it's been a while since they've won one of these. So, and they want it. So
absolutely. So we've got a nice blend out there, the Queenslanders. They've got a few just pure outdoor players and a bunch of indoor players. So it's starting to work quite well for them. The margin's still 8. It's been 8 most of this quarter, between 8 and 9. Big Solomon, he's on the front foot. Ooh, crept in.
Falls in.
Shooter's roll, they call that. On the Rezzies, Queensland have extended their lead by 2, 25-22. It's now 3. So could be double titles to the mighty Maroons and the hat-trick later on this afternoon, my friend.
Well, I'm not sure about the hat-trick.
Joshua Bogus from New South Wales talking up his men's chances. So they have beaten Queensland on 3 occasions this week. The most recent, a 1-point thriller.
Yeah, if it's anything to go by, it's going to be a thriller.
That action from 1:45. Keane, pocket, looks for next hip, tells him to go closer, which he does, and makes no mistake.
Shot.
He gets Victoria's 20th third, the margin 8. Queensland with the ball. We've got 5 to play in the third. So, Roberts, no need for that. Next hip, she's copying a chatting to, and that would be a caution. So Roberts is tough as teak. Absolutely, that would not even faze her.
The umpire, Carly Brown, just starting to pull the game in here now, letting the guys know that, hey, this is netball, not footy.
You like to see that, Coach?
Yeah, definitely. Look, the umpires have got full control of this game, and credit to them, they're doing so well at this one. So just letting them know that, pull it in a little bit. She's let enough, like, you know, there's enough contesting.
Enough fair contest, yeah. So she doesn't want it to go over the top. Yep. So excellent work by the umpire. Stenhouse, great save. Onto Patu. Roberts wants it, calling for it. Solomon's on. Great feed in.
Great take.
The big man. Falling out of court.
Makes that one count.
Thinks he's in the NBA. Does a jump shot. Nothing but net. Queensland back to a 9-goal margin. 3:38 to play in the third. Next hit with the reply. Can't do it. Short. Upcroft the rebound. Bobbles around. Stenhouse picks up the crumbs. Patu to Platt. They're on the fly, the Maroons. Pausing a bit now. Keane with his hand in smart play. Slowed it down. Gives the Victorians time to set.
So you can see
Patu wanted that desperately. He's come a long way for that ball. So Stenhouse contacted on. So Patu again wants it. Starting to demand the ball. Smart play by the Queenslanders, looking for the best option.
Next set came out hunting for that one. Yeah. Left Solomon alone under there, so there was easy feed up and over.
Are we going to see more hunting in the second as Victoria start playing catch-up in the last quarter?
Look, I think that's what they may have to go to. It's really forcing Queensland to go higher and longer, so they can pick one off.
Well, they got one back there. None got caught for the hell ball. So Queensland with the margin back to double digits. It's 10. Now 9.
And Vic centre pass as well. So
back to that 8 that we've been at for a long time. So Coach, if Vics could get on a little run, if they could get it to say 6, does Queensland start looking for the finish line and start forgetting to do what they do?
Possibly. It could. You know, it's going to put the scoreboard pressure on. So if they can cut it back to, like you said, 5 or 6, it's really going to have pressure on Queensland to make sure that they can score off their centre passes.
So scoreboard pressure is the most serious pressure you can do. So great work there by the big man from Ipswich. Of course, I'm speaking of Ben Upcroft. So,
and that's what they're looking for. So they just confused that space. Looked like it was coming forward, but went back.
Bit of a misread there. Victoria's got another chance to make it 8. Upcroft can't get that one. Next hip. Bit too far for him. Pulled in by Upcroft. And the obstruction. Double whammy there on it. Sophie O'Shea. So Patu looking solid. Stenhouse, Roberts. Plays a completely different game to Lorna. So not afraid to take at least one shot. So 25 all in the men's Resi's game. 2:27 to play in their quarter. And we've got an offside. Nunn throws the ball away in frustration. Felt she got pushed into the circle. Not seen by the umpire in that department. Next hip starting to get over everyone's. He's on a caution already.
So the umpire just having a chat, letting all the players know they just need to settle down.
That was just a verbal chat. There was no caution given there from what I can tell.
No. She just said, take a breath, guys.
Take a breath. Keane hits the circle. Victoria trying to muscle up here.
So Queensland defenders keeping him high in the circle.
Stenhouse doing an amazing job on O'Shea. So gives away the penalty eventually, but look where it is, right on the edge of the circle. Yeah. Will she take the shot? We're inside the last minute. Steps in. She looks long. Sophie O'Shea a bit too far on that one. Stenhouse the crumbs. Throws it to Platt, who can only really push it out.
Upcroft just smart enough just to flick it back to his player.
He's had a big week, Ben Upcroft. I've watched him a few times. He's looked magnificent, making the transition from the indoor, which we refer to as nets, and coming into the outdoor game, he's done marvellously well. Big stretch there. Can't get that one, though. So eventually, Vics do make the margin 8. Queensland have got it. This could be the last possession. 23 seconds to go.
So you think if they got to stop here, it's really going to put a great finish to this quarter and put the pressure on Queensland coming into the fourth.
Solomon's set. They're just not finding him at the moment. That one just got there. Needs to make sure of this. He does. Hit the front of the ring and still rolled in. Not the best shot he's put up today, but it got there in the end. Upcroft, next sip. They fight for it. And time beats everyone. So we come to the 3-quarter break. That'll be like a turnover because Victoria got their centre pass off, but they couldn't score from it.
Yep.
Queensland, looking for their first title ever, 36. Victoria, the defending premiers, sorry, I got that wrong. Queensland 35, but Victoria, the defending premiers, 26. The margin is 9. New South Wales 17's coach Joshua Bogus. Your thoughts?
Yeah, look, it's been steady by Queensland. They've just gone through the motions. So I think that's what they're going to come out in the fourth quarter, just to stay steady, keep the centre passes, and they'll be fine. So
smart play by Coach Dave Smith from Queensland. He is resting players and keeping people fresh. He's done it all week. That's something that has plagued Queensland in the past. They've got to the finals and they've just been out of legs. This year, they seem to be fresh. It doesn't matter who he's putting out there. They're contributing, and the teams are performing well.
Yep.
27-all, Victoria men's reserve in the Queensland.
And we're back for the final quarter, coming to you live from the 34th Annual Men's and Mixed Netball Championships. My name is Dave Mills. We're coming to you live from the Homebush Stadium, Janaya Centre, Sydney Olympic Park. We're here for AMNA TV. I'm joined in commentary by New South Wales legend coach Joshua Bogus. Queenslanders, the margin is 9, now 10. Are you happy with the position if you're a Queenslander, Joshua?
Look, if I was a Queensland, I'd be very happy where they're at now. They just got to keep scoring off their centre passes. And for Vic, I think they just need to be steady, not throwing passes like that. Wait for the right lead to come. Assess their options. It's all decision making now. So
the margin's 10. Stenhouse drops the ball there. And we're looking like Victoria trying desperately to get this margin down to single digits. A few changes for the Victoria. Guy King's taking himself off. Dylan Nexip into the centre. He's gone from GD to centre, which is surprising because I thought Guy was doing all right. So changes in the defensive end as well, positionally. So for Queensland, Patu's remained on. Roberts, they are continuing with the lineup they took into the third quarter. So Stenhouse went hunting there. Platt, great cover by Patu, got the intercept, but Upcroft with his cover there, forced that bad pass. Sensational effort. He's looking for someone to throw to. He finds Patu. Queensland trying to break this title drought that has extended since they started playing mixed in 2003. This would be their first title in a number of years. So, Nexip on the circle, looking for O'Shea.
Nexip on the circle, Nexip in the circle.
There's Nexips everywhere. So, tries the shuffle. Couldn't do it with Upcroft there. Misses a shot up off the boards, out of the hands. Next sip, play on, says the umpire. He takes a shot again and makes it. So we're inside the last 13. Can Queensland hang on? They currently lead by 9. Vics don't seem to be having a run on them at the moment. It would only take a couple of turnovers, and there's one.
So if they can score off this one.
Yeah. Solomon with the hand. Gets called for the contact, though. We've been handed the stats for the third quarter. Victorian shooters, 9 out of 13, 2 out of 3 the goal attack. Sophie O'Shea didn't have a big volume, only 2 out of 3. And surprise, surprise, 13 shots for the Queenslanders, 12 of them to Solomon. He got 12 out of 12. And Rihanna Roberts missed with her only attempt, which is the only attempt by any Queensland goal attack in this game thus far. O'Shea, another miss, ripped in by Upcroft. Platt with the ball. Patu, great drive. Hands on there, doesn't faze him. Run down. Solomon, the big man, chases that down.
He is a long way from home.
He is a long way from home. Doesn't go that far at Christmas. So, but Queensland up by 1 in the open men's resis. So, Patu contacted there. Victoria giving away a few fouls. Next sip, that's Dylan. And we don't know what's going on. Yes, the penalty's been taken there. Into Solomon. He sets the penalty. Makes no mistake. The margin back to double digits, 10. Starting to get a little bit confident, Joshua.
It is 11, just over 11 minutes to go. So
the rule of thumb. A few former Queenslanders watching. Mark Gilberts, Nicole Theron, Courtney Rawson. They've all been part of this side at different stages. Haven't been able to pull the title this time. Is it going to be Queensland's year? The margin 11, they're centre next. We have a rule of 11 in Queensland, my friend. When you're 11 up with 11 to go, it usually means you win. In fact, it always means you win. So Queenslanders would have to fall in the hole here. Solomon chasing that, contacts from behind. First contact on Victoria, that was a lucky call. And I am very maroon coloured. That was a lucky call. So I thought we might have a make-up call there.
Yeah.
So Solomon takes a shot, but no, we get a goal instead. We'll take that. We haven't won a title since forever, so we will take that. So
McDonald, next sip to next sip.
the brothers not combining
Not
well.
connecting there.
That'll be mentioned at the Christmas dinner, that pass. So
Be off the Christmas list.
he will be. Nice work. Look, mate, let's talk about the umpires. I think they've been sensational this game.
Fantastic, yep.
Got a little bit heated early on.
But they've nipped that in the butt.
Carly Brown absolutely took control.
Yep.
Kylie Pearce on the other side done amazingly well. Solomon comes out. Not that time for Solomon. He got the contact. So the margin's still 12. We've got 9:50 to play. O'Shea looking. There's just nothing coming through. Queenslanders, Dave Smith, who is a zone coach extraordinaire. Every team you're in, Dave teaches the zone. That was a bit of a compressed zone. Worked like a treat. Joshua.
It did, and forced O'Shea there a ball handling issue. Just gone out over the baseline. I was busy watching.
Yeah, work with me here, brother. Touch by Platt. Brilliant work. She gathered that in. Looked like going over the third, but alas, it did not for Victoria. Platt again, having quite some match. Rihanna Roberts into Nunn. Nunn saves it, but can't get it to the big man Solomon. O'Shea again. O'Shea's too high for mine. She needs to get back and help out next hip. She's still just in the third. Probably needs to get herself into that circle. Now she's there. Queensland set and D. O'Shea comes all the way through. Quick pass to next hip, back to next hip. To Upcroft.
Upcroft has got hands to everything.
He has had a big game. He's kind of been the difference. And does brilliantly there. Got the rebound, going out, tapped it back to Platt. Patu to Nunn. Platt wants it. She'll take her time. The experience there. State League player from back in Queensland. So
Roberts taking the front position.
she's going to have a shot. And there it is.
First goal from the goal attack.
I'm going to say damn, because I wanted a game where only the shooter had taken all the shots. Roberts, selfish play, I'm calling it. 1 out of 2.
How dare she?
How dare she take a shot and she's a goal attack. Very selfish play by Roberts. We jest, of course, Queensland by 13. Nunn with the ball. Into Solomon to make it 14. If you're sitting at home, people, in Queensland, and what is it, it's lunchtime, you're probably having a few Pepsis. So
Pepsi, shout out to Pepsi.
if Pepsi's there. So someone sent me a message, not biased at all, Dave Mills. Clearly they don't know me.
Yeah.
So O'Shea on the next hip there. Swings the arms, nearly collected Platt. And Platt gives him one back.
Platt says, you know what?
Yeah, I wouldn't take on Laura Platt. I know her reasonably well. So she does an incredible amount of CrossFit and picks up really, really heavy things.
Why would you do that?
And puts them down and picks them up again. So, and over and over. So
Speaking of over, that was over a third.
yeah, it was. Queensland 13, not time to celebrate just yet. Davin Hunt, the most patriotic Queenslander of all, is sitting on the bench. He is the assistant coach of both teams, the mixed and the men's.
He is the most energetic person I've seen.
Absolutely. Learning his trade. He will be a head coach for Queensland soon. And I'm telling you, look out.
Oh, I know.
So you talk about passion.
I've been watching him.
You will see some passion. He is. He's great for the sport. We need him. We lost him for a few years while he became a family man. Lovely wife, Vicky, and two children, 2 daughters. So he's back in the coaching. Great work by Nunn there. Roberts has played brilliantly since he's come on. Very tough. Patu swings it to Roberts. Again, she's been cleaned up. That's next sip again. He's on a caution. Do we go to a warning? That's a warning. And the crowd goes nuts. Bit of frustration from the defending premier next sip. Solomon can rub a bit of insult into injury, which he does. Very casually throws it back. The margin 14-6 to play. Is it time to celebrate if you're a Queenslander, Joshua Bogus?
I think you could probably pop the bottle of champagne.
Absolutely. We've had them on ice for the best part of a decade. It's going to taste terrible, but we're popping them every
terrible.
Oh, it'll be off. So I don't actually drink, so I don't know, but I'm assuming it'll taste terrible. So another missed shot by O'Shea. Not her best game today, I'd have to say, and I've got big raps on this young lady. But 2, I look over to Coach Smith. He's wiping his palms on his legs. I think it's time to relax, Davo. You're 14 up with 6 to go. Roberts taking another shot.
Roberts,
and why not? 2 from 3. Solomon feeling a little bit aggrieved there.
He said, hey, that's my job.
That's my job. That's exactly right. Here he goes. There's no way he'll pass this off.
We'll feed him with that one.
Thank you. Maybe he will now. Misses an easy one. So
Robert says, hey, that's why I shoot.
the margin 15. Biggest lead of the match in the last quarter. The pro-maroon crowd is swelling. The men's game at 145. 29 all in the Rezzies, men's, that is. So Victoria get one back. I don't think it's going to matter. The rule of 11 works again. So I see Josh writing that one down. He'll be using that.
I'm going to use that.
So Upcroft gets the board and the contact on the post.
On the post.
Should have been out of play, possibly not. I don't know that rule. Stenhouse done a great job since she's come on. Really happy for her. Been out of the Queensland team for a little while. So she's back in there now, doing brilliantly well, as is her sister, Kelly Gibson. Haven't seen her in this match. Haven't seen a couple of the Queenslanders. Luke Hillman hasn't come on. So the rest of the squad getting lots of court time, and they still look fresh. As I said, that is something that has plagued previous Queensland sides, and this year, not the case. Smart man management by David Smith, former Melbourne Tiger. Soon to be national winning coach. He's had a tough time. He's come through the junior ranks. He's had some really young sides. So I'm really happy for him to get this one. He picked a team. He's worked with them. He's one of the more emotional coaches with regards to pumping people up about people.
Yeah.
So as opposed to just yelling and ranting. And he's got some very smart things to say. So
doesn't it? You can tell, like, this team's well drilled. They're motivated. They're pumped up. They're hyped. That's just what they've come here for. So
it's an old cliche in netball or any sport really, but they just look like they've wanted it more than Victoria today. And that's not taking anything away from Victoria.
No.
They are a champion side, and they've been a champion side for a number of years. And they've just hit the wall at the last hurdle and come up with a red hot Queensland team. Yeah. So that goal takes the margin back to 15. I'm trying to hide in my excitement, but we call time, delaying the inevitable. And there it is. Patu got the ball. Roberts, no, that's Nunn, copped that one again. Roberts and Nunn have been belted. They'll have some nice bruises to take back to Queensland.
What a prezzo tonight.
True. Hope they were not wearing a strapless dress. I digress again. So next sip to next sip. That was a nice connection. I'll talk about that one at Christmas.
Probably the best feed I've seen all day.
So Queensland. It's time to celebrate, my friends back home. Crack the bottles out. Very happy. So, more and more Queenslanders tuning in, saying g'day. Jane Dale, Mickey Schiltz, Nicole Grant up in Ipswich. She's been in this side as well. So great to see their former players that haven't been able to get the job done, tuning in to see their current champions. And I'm using the word early.
Champions.
I'm using it early.
Yep.
14 with 3 to play, I'm confident. so Queensland have been magnificent this week. They did it the hard way. They finished
From
third.
Yep.
Yep. They had to play WA first up, took care of them in a fairly big margin. New South Wales weren't at their best last night. They got through that game. That was a danger game.
Yep, sure.
New South Wales had beaten them, and they took care of the job there. And here they are today playing. I've seen about 6 of their games, and this is probably the best. So coaches prepared them perfectly for this match.
They're hitting their peak when they need to, so credit, well done to them.
Absolutely. It'll be a nice celebration tonight. I have no idea how many have nominated for Australia, but you think they'd have to get a couple in if they have nominated.
Yep.
So.
The same with Victoria. They've got some great players out there as well.
And New South Wales, there was some amazing play. Like, it was a very even competition. Even WA knocked Queensland off in the last round, and they came into calculations. It's the first time we probably had a comp where 4 or even 5 teams could win.
Yeah.
And
you've seen the Queensland bench. They're all up. They're excited. They know that just over a minute and a half to go. They can almost celebrate this one.
Yeah, Davin Hunt's removing himself from the bench because he will go ballistic. So
he's going up the top of the stairs.
Yes, he has literally taken himself out of the stadium. Probably best. So, and if the men's win this afternoon, people, Sydney's not big enough. So, great shot by O'Shea, the Victorian champion, Sophie O'Shea. Nunn, very happy for her. She's been in the team for the last 5. She's had some heartbreaking losses, none more than 2 years ago when they lost by just 2 to Geelong. So, Upcroft has continued to play well. Of course, there's an official man of the match, which we don't have anything to do with, but we can... Oh, centre's been called again. He's on a warning. He's been cautioned and warning. He's chipped the umpire. Is she going to send him? It's great for television if she does, but alas, no. She walked away mid-caution there. So, I guess with only a few seconds.
Very firm words to him.
Yeah. We can lip read, and they were firm. So, she's not going to take his rubbish anymore. So, he only has to get through another 40 seconds, and the game's done. Nunn chased that down beautifully. Runs past the scorer's bench. I was hoping for a high five, didn't get it. Oh, pushes off again.
I think stay tuned, because this Queensland celebration, I can guarantee you, is going to be big.
There's tears already on the bench. No one's died. It's just a game of netball. We'll go with tears of joy. So, just to give you an update in the men's, it's 31-30 to Victoria as we speak. 3 to go in that one. We won't mind if you change channels. You shouldn't, but if you do, you're going to see a great conclusion of that one. Queensland puts the cherry on top. Michael Solomon, he scored 46 of the 48. Rihanna Roberts 2. Upcroft.
And there's the final whistle.
There it is. The drought is broken. They run to Solomon. He is now carrying 3 players. Make that the entire team. So he's big enough to handle it. Stenhouse over the top, and Queensland are ecstatic.
He was carrying them on the court.
Smith's going to jump in there. He probably shouldn't. Victoria, a great champion team. Unfortunately, they just couldn't get the job done today.
They did. Look, they stuck it out. It was, I think, the start maybe got to them a little bit, got them rattled early on. But I thought, Guy King coming into the game did quite well with that as well. So, well done to Queensland.
So, Solomon the Rock, he scores 46 of 48. He missed, we think, 6 shots. So, 46 out of 52. My mass isn't that good, but it's nearly 90%.
Yeah.
And that's an amazing effort in a grand final. And Roberts just 2 from 3. No other shots taken for Queensland. Is that enough for your man of the match, my friend, or are you going elsewhere?
Look.
Or Upcroft. What did Upcroft do? He shut down the circle.
Upcroft, I think, was a standout for me.
He was for me too.
He's got such long arms and such, netball brain, so well done to him.
Good luck with that. We're just going to name our own man of the match. Yep. Again, this has no bearing on the official man of the match, which is done by the umpires, presented tonight at the awards dinner. But Joshua Bogus, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with Ben Upcroft.
Ben Upcroft,
yep.
Okay. We'll have a chat to him. We'll stay on the air a little bit longer. The other game is still proceeding, and then there'll be some entertainment and all sorts of things. My producer's, he's shaking his head over
32 to 30 to Victoria.
Victoria up by 2. Queensland top of the table in that one. So they huddle up. The coach of Queensland there, he's hugging Guy Keane, the Victorian coach. The final statistics, we missed one for Rhianna Roberts. She was 3 from 3. My apologies. That means that Solomon only had 45. Oh. Pretty poor effort there.
Not enough from him.
No, 11 out of 12 in that quarter. The Victorian shooters, 5 from 10 to the shooter, 7 out of 8 to Sophie O'Shea. 2 out of 5. I can't read my writing. So, big man, a great performance by the Queenslanders. They led from go to woe. They came out fast. And so we're looking at the other score. At the conclusion of that game, we'll probably go to commercial. So, and when we come back, we'll have some interviews with some players and a few other little bits and pieces. And of course, there will be the medal ceremony and the presentations of the shield, which till today has not carried the Queensland name. But this year, for the first time, we first played nationals for Queensland in mixed in 2003. And this year, for the first time, we'll see the Queensland name on the trophy. So, Victoria, they were a gallant
Still
defeat.
up by 1 over there.
Still 1 to the Victorian Resi men's. So Queensland not in possession of the ball. They're trying hard. This would be heartbreak. Queensland lost by 1 last year. So to lose to Victoria again by 1, that'd be looking for rope time. So Queensland, they're fighting and fighting. I think the time is up. The cheers go up. Victoria have won.
Victoria men's reserve 32 over Queensland men's reserve 31.
And we're back here. I'm with the defeated Victorian captain, Sophie O'Shea. Sophie, tough match today.
Yeah, look, Queensland came out firing, which we expected them to do, and I think we hoped to match it with them early on, but they got on top of us, and I think that 10-goal difference, once that happens in a game, it's really tough to pull yourselves back up out of that, and they didn't let up for the 60 minutes.
Absolutely, they started well. They led 15-5 at quarter time, and the margin stayed the same until the last part of the fourth quarter. So it was the start that hurt you?
Yeah, I think so, and I mean, throughout the week we've had slow starts, and we've been trying to focus on and doing that. We got our good start yesterday, unfortunately not today when it probably really needed to happen.
Absolutely, you guys were the defending champions. You brought the exact same team from last year to this year. It must hurt, relinquishing your title, but Queensland played really well.
And look, I mean, we went in last year as a really unknown commodity, and I mean, came in this week with probably a lot of internal pressure that we were putting on ourselves, being the hunted this year. It's hard work to go back to back, and yeah, look, all power to them. Queensland came back bigger and better this year, and we're a much stronger unit. So
absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us. Bad luck, Queenslanders. Yay. I'm joined now by the Queensland captain, Laura Platt. Congratulations on your win.
Thank
Laura, sensational. First one for Queensland ever in the history.
Yeah, super exciting and super privileged to be a part of it. The team deserved the win. We've been working hard since November, so yeah, just super
Just
happy.
stop moving there, darling.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, you did extremely well. You're training for like 5 months every Sunday, putting in the hard yards, extra sessions outside.
Yeah, the Sunday sessions would often go for 3.5 to 4 hours. You know, getting home after lunch, starting early in the morning, but it was all worth it. Everyone put in the effort and it showed today.
Absolutely, knocked off the defending premiers, you know. So and Queensland's first ever title. You know, it must be an absolute privilege.
Absolutely, and we're 12 strong squad. We didn't have a starting 7 all week, so it just proved that everyone did their part.
Absolutely, mentioned that in the commentary. Previous years tend to run out of legs late in the week. This year, you looked as fresh as Daisy. Your start was amazing.
Yeah, and that was something we wanted to work on all week. We had some slow starts, and the last couple of games were really strong for us. So.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us. We're really proud. I'm a proud Queenslander. Well done. We're going to talk to Ben Upcroft, the man of the match. Remembering this is just a TV man of the match. It has nothing to do with the official man of the match, which is announced tonight. Ben, congratulations. You got our man of the match. Shut down the Victorian Circle fairly well.
Yeah, it was a tough grind in there. Yeah. They played well, but you know the scoreboard might not show that, but it's a tough game all around.
Absolutely, and you made the transition from indoor to outdoor. Australian indoor rep, and now here you are playing outdoor. Did you nominate for the Australian team?
No, I didn't actually.
Rookie error there, my friend. You played extremely well. The team just seemed to function well. Whenever you were able to flick in a rebound, someone was there to pick it up.
Yep. Well, great team effort. Everyone was there for the scraps. It's team effort. You can hear them.
How's your legs? Feeling fresh?
Not really.
Should be a big night tonight. Thanks for joining us, Ben. Last one in is Dave Smith, coach of the Queensland team, the victorious coach. Dave, congratulations, my friend.
Thanks, Millsy.
It's been a long time coming. Queensland never won a title.
I haven't?
Never. This is the first one for Queensland. Trust me, just keep moving there, buddy.
Sorry, mate.
So how do you feel?
No, I'm wrapped. The guys have been fantastic. It's been all about their processes since day one. They've focused on themselves the whole time in our job. We wanted to make sure it wasn't about anyone else, just us. And I think that's what they did. They sort of separated themselves.
Started brilliantly. The team just fired right from the get-go.
Yeah, the defensive end for us was phenomenal. You know, they focused on locking them down, forcing them high. We did that, and yeah, the attack end then took care of it.
It was a brilliant effort, probably the best effort I've seen from a Queensland team. The man management all week was brilliant. It didn't matter to him who you put on court, it seemed to work well.
No, and that's been our mantra since day one. We go 12 deep. So, you know, everyone came to training, everyone had a role, responsibility, and that's the result, yeah.
Well, Dave, I'm very proud Queenslander. Well done, congratulations on the first ever title for Queensland. Well done. We'll flick back to Joshua now, and the presentation will be starting shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate Queensland. And keep that applause going for our 2018 National Champions Men's Reserve from Victoria. Clint Allwood, Ben Ritzman, Christopher Cameron, Simon Cartwright, Josh Clavarino, Brandon Dumont, Torin Imaka, Rain Kivavali, Sam Nakaris, Rowan May, Brent Pace, James Story. Coaches Jenny Lewis, manager Lisa Minot.
Presentations of the men's reserves, won by Victoria, beating Queensland by 1. Second year in a row the Queenslanders have lost that game by 1. And Victoria go back to back. Victoria won that title since 2014.
Can we have the captain of Victoria to get the shield?
Skipper getting the shield.
Congratulations, Victoria.
One of the more subdued shield raisings I've seen. Maybe it'll be better after the official photo. Nope, they're cuddling it like a baby. So. A sign of good sportsmanship, both teams getting together for a photo.
Thank you, men's reserves. Down here on show court, we have the open mixed. Can we please thank our umpires, Carly Brown, Kylie Pearce, and our reserve umpire, Christina West.
The 3 umpires who did the open mixed final did a superb job, I feel. Carly Brown took control when the game could have got a little bit aggressive. Kylie Pearce on the far side did well as well. A bit of trouble getting the medal over the neck. So the neck must have swelled up overnight. So. Getting the official photo.
With a score of 49 to 33, please congratulate our runners-up for a game well played, Victoria.
The 2017 champions are not the 2018 champions. That's the exact same side that they had last year. We spoke to their captain, Sophie O'Shea. She said it was difficult being the hunted. It was much easier last year when no one expected them to do well. Bit of disappointment there. A few issues with a bit of discipline at times. Next, they've copped a couple of warnings. So, but still a remarkable effort to finish second. Don't forget, from 1:45. We'll be live from about 20 past 1. We've got a few different things happening. We've got an extra camera. We've got some umpire interviews, coaching interviews before the game. And, of course, we'll be bringing you all the action from 1:45. So Queensland Open Men's. Can they knock off the undefeated thus far New South Wales Open Men's? Patrick Pillier versus Junior Levy. It promises to be a cracker. The major semi-final had them finishing with a difference of 1. So I'm excited for it. I'm hoping it'll be a cracker. And of course, Queensland are hoping that they get the victory. New South Wales defending in front of their home crowd will be difficult. But all will be revealed. The commentary team for that match, Michael Hutchinson will be the primary. I will be the secondary. And of course, none other than Paige Hadley. I can see her now. She's been at training. She's freshened up. She's had a shower. She'll be joining us for the specialist comments. That action, the game will start at 1:45. Coverage from 20 past the hour. amna.com.au or the Facebook page.
Thank you, Victoria.
Now the
Our
Queenslanders.
2018 Mixed Open National Champions from Queensland, Michael Solomon, Alorna Natumaroa, Sam Nunn, Deepak Patu, Laura Platt, Shanine Benston, Ben Upcroft, Luke Hillman, Erin Stenhouse, Kelly Gibson, Billy Marr, Brianna Roberts. Coach is Dave Smith, manager Mel Heather.
There they are, the Victorian Queenslanders. Michael Solomon first. 45 of the 48 goals come from his hands. Brianna Roberts took 3. Alorna, no shots, just passed off every time. And played like a team and got the result. Some of these kids have been in the side for probably 4 to 5 years. This is a great achievement for them. Wondering if they'd ever get one, and they have now. Ben Upcroft getting his medal there. Our TV man of the match, remember that is not the official man of the match as determined by the umpires presented tonight at the presentation dinner. Lorna, that smile. Sammy Nunn, formerly Sammy Hurst, has been in that team for a long time. Means a lot to her. Same with Laura Platt. Mel Heather, the manager. Very pleased. And probably the proudest man in Queensland right now, Dave Smith. First year as the open coach of the mixed team, and he takes away the gold. Official photo. They're all bunching up. Is there a better feeling in netball than that? Billy
Can we
Marr.
ask Queensland Mixed Open captain, please, to receive the shield, and that'll be inclusive for the photograph.
Laura Platt, Sammy Nunn going up to get the shield. Getting the photo with President Grant. There it is. It's taken a long time to raise that. And look at the excitement on their face. And that's a better shield raising than what we just saw from the Resi men's. So Solomon single-handedly picking up everyone. The Holy Grail has returned to Queensland. And that wraps up this match and the coverage for this. Remembering, we'll be back on air in about 15 minutes with the Open Men's Grand Final. Myself, Michael Hutchinson and Paige Hadley in the commentary team. So we'll go off air for about 15 minutes. See you at 20 past the hour. Bye for now.